What a weekend. Deezy's married. The crew got drunk. We danced the night away, but Bitcoin's dancing its way back down. Looks like it might be wanting to take some CME gaps out. We're going to map out the market here, build out our trading plan this week. Kind of crazy. What up, Kelly Crypto Dude? That's his original account too, right?
It is his original account.
Good. Okay. Madman Manuro, welcome to the show, my man. It's a beautiful day. It's a Monday. The birds are chirping. Our bags are still there. This is going to be a crazy week, though. We have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, I believe. It's about 2 days away. Likely going to be a rate hold. But you know what? There's some great news coming out for altcoins, and I am going to dive deep into one of my biggest holdings to essentially look at where I feel like the top could be for one of the biggest and fastest growing base projects on the planet. So we're going to take a look at that. All this and more on today's show. Welcome to the show. Isaac, is your shirt in yet?
No, it's not in yet. Soon. The shirt will be in soon. Don't you worry.
Every single day in 15 ocho.
Indeed.
You're going to have to clean it every single day. Yes, Morpho, Mikhail, we're going to take a look at that. And also, I'm going to begin impressing the importance of altcoin paired to Bitcoin charts because, folks, these are what I use to take massive amounts of profits out of altcoins, roll it back into Bitcoin or real estate, etc., knowing where just the generalized local tops of these altcoins are. Because, yeah, we're in great buying opportunity right now. Market's a little sleepy. It's funny seeing people thinking that the bear market's here, yada, yada, yada. I don't think that's the truth, but understanding the pairing charts will help us get a really good grasp on when to fold them and when to hold them. So with all that being said, welcome to the show. Sly Monkey, Sufficient Enough, David Middleton, Alan Huerta, Alexander G. Thank you so much for every single day. I see Alexander G retweeting the show. That just makes my heart swell. Thank you very much for that. Of course, Mikhail, Mike Rochburns, World War 208, Steve O's loves DZ and AI agents. Drew ran down to the basement. Yes, I just hosted the Discover Crypto show with Kelly. I had to hold back a little bit on my aggravation with Warren Buffett.
That's true.
I had to make sure he didn't die, right? The guy's very, very old. He's going to die soon. In Quinte Ocho. You know, what the fuck? You know, like I understand like he's pretty smart, but it's pretty easy to be the smart guy in the room when you're being told inside information from market movements to come.
True.
And also, if you've amassed billions of dollars in personal and company wealth, why the fuck are you taking federal government bailouts, right?
Exactly.
What is this scam? So, you know, no wonder the guy never liked Bitcoin because it takes the power away from the heads, gives it to the people. Unbelievable. Make sure you follow me at Druth Crypto on Twitter. Here, go live. I'm going to be going live at 3 as well with the Mario channel. And then also make sure you are following us on YouTube. So we're at 77.9. Look at us. We're growing over the weekend.
Indeed.
Fantastic news. Rumble going ballistic. Apparently, we're getting like 10-30,000 views on Rumble. Kind of crazy to see. And we are working on fixing our multi-streaming with the arena because I love being in the arena. So let's take a look at the news here. First and foremost, instead of Bitcoin, we're covering Cardano first. The first bridgeless transfer of Bitcoin between Bitcoin and Cardano. Very, very interesting to see this. You know, and something interesting about Cardano is its, you know, closer connectivity to Bitcoin rather than other layer ones with these wrapped kind of hybrid monsters that they have to go into Bitcoin with. Cardano's just, you know, to and from the same position. So interesting to see this bridgeless cross-chain asset transfer from Bitcoin to Cardano. Potentially this could be, you know, essentially this is a road being built for a crowd they hope comes. And you know what? As long as the saying is, if you build it, they will come. The people are not here. What we see right now is $3 trillion basically changing hands and shifting from one alt to the next alt. There is no retail here. Let's go verify this, shall we, Isaac?
Yeah, let's do it.
We shall verify that retail literally isn't even here yet. It's funny because the strategic reserves are on the table. They got vetoed in Arizona.
Sad.
Yeah. You know what? The Sonoma cartel and Katie Hobbs, I bet you they get along pretty good.
I'm pretty sure they work together.
Bet you. I bet you they get along pretty good. Let's go to Google Trends. Let's go check out. Is retail here or have we psyoped ourselves into perpetual pain?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz is trending. Let's see how Bitcoin compares to Alcatraz real quick. Hold on. Hold up. Alcatraz is winning.
Interesting.
So Alcatraz is beating Bitcoin's search. That's very interesting. Let's look at the 2004 to present. Okay. Let's go here. Look at this. So this is supposed to be like the local, and a lot of people are calling this the top while we have all the strategic reserve hoopla going on. They start too impatient. They don't realize that it's going to, and honestly, I hope it gets turned down. I hope they turn down the Bitcoin strategic reserves in every state. So then I could buy Bitcoin cheaper. Literally, I am so convicted on Bitcoin being here to stay at this point. I am essentially hoping that, you know, they pull this price down a little bit. A lot of YouTubers are leaving and marking their own websites for their channels so Google can't rug you during the bull run. Maybe. I mean, I am on a lot of different streaming platforms. Ron, what are we on? Rumble?
We're on LinkedIn, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube and Twitter, and soon to continue on the Arena, and then maybe possibly Parler.
That might be a thing. Go back into the Fed hotbed of Parler.
Exactly.
It's not like the feds don't listen to me anyway. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, you got an Alexa in your house. How scary? I don't care. Come try me. You know what I mean? Like, I have no speeding tickets in my entire life. I'm a father of 4, has done right my entire life. But I also will never comply with tyrants. So there's that. And I keeps one in the chain.
I will list off every single gun I own to my Alexa.
Yeah. This is an interesting move, more seeping of the strategy into Wall Street. Semler Scientific acquired 167 Bitcoin for $16.2 million and has been generating a Bitcoin yield of 22% year to date. Now holding 3,600 Bitcoin, is now the 4th largest Bitcoin treasury in the United States. Very, very interesting. More outlook. Wall Street is going to look at this and be like, I want me some of that Bitcoin yield. It's easy to put these things together. No speeding tickets in my entire life. That is correct. Isaac, do you have the same you can say for yourself?
No, I cannot. I like speeding tickets. They're my favorite.
I like speeding tickets. Yeah. No speeding tickets. I did steal chicken wings when I was 15 years old. Ran out of the King Supers and got tackled by a loss prevention officer. That sucked. But other than that, no. Pretty clean history there. Now, MicroStrategy, top blasting, another 2,000 Bitcoin just about for 180 million bucks at $95,000 per Bitcoin, and achieved the Bitcoin yield of 14% year to date. As of May 4th, we hold 550,000 Bitcoin. Oh my God. Who wins to the path to $1 million Bitcoin? Is it Michael Saylor and strategy, or is it the U.S. government? Right?
Michael Saylor, easy answer.
You think so?
I do think so. Because he's been continuously buying since like 2019.
You know,
we haven't even started really hammering Bitcoin as a nation yet. So
the United States is only going to take 5 years to accomplish 1 million Bitcoin under the Strategic Reserve Act. So, I mean, they might be able to catch up. I mean, if this nation state kind of tug of war BS actually happens, the price goes into the 150s, maybe even 200 if things go out of hand. And then your amount that you can buy for Michael Saylor goes down. I mean, yes, the yield goes up so you can take more loans out and kind of keep cooking the system. The U.S. government, though, coming in just flat buying 200K a year.
Yeah, I feel like he already Michael Saylor already has like what? 500,000 Bitcoin or
well,
something.
Not him in particular, but his
strategy.
Yeah.
They have at least 500,000 Bitcoin already.
Yeah.
And I see Freedom guys saying the government will buy it all in one shot. They won't do that. They could, but they won't, because they have this plan to do it. What, 200K per year?
Yeah. We have a Deshaun Watson situation here with Drew. Who is that?
Dude, actually, I don't know.
It might be from Atlanta. A couple people stole. Steve-O stole a Metallica CD. Oof.
It's kind of based.
See, this is like confessional hour, blockchain confessions. All right, let's have a listen. Donald Trump came out talking more about crypto. Let's have a listen to what the orange one had to say here.
I want crypto. I think crypto is important because if we don't do it, China's going to. And
I like it. Just chalk it up to that.
Yeah, that's all you
It's
need.
us doing it or China beats us to it. That's the ultimate driving factor for why Trump gets shit done, is because his loathing of China outpacing the United States in terms of manufacturing and energy production, which means dominance. But their currency not doing so great. We're
Nope.
doing a good job with the currency war. You know what? I confess I'm in love with the blockchain. Big handstand, you guy. You know what? Everyone that's coming to Bitcoin Vegas, you got to let me know in the Discord or something. You know,
We're here. Whatever.
we got to
works
figure
for
out how
you.
many stakes to get. Don't you think?
That's gonna be a
It's gonna be
lot
important.
of steak. Very important. Very important indeed. A lot of steak.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson was getting happy endings forcibly. Wow. That sounds like a problem. That does not sound like a happy ending. A forceful happy ending.
Nice.
Jesus. Murphy, Mary, and Joseph. All right. So now, Trump crypto czar. David Sachs giving us some highlights on the war on crypto. This is the crypto czar. It's going to be overseeing the expansion of crypto here in the United States. Have a listen to
We
this
did
guy.
repeal Biden's exec order on AI, which was 100 pages of unnecessary regulation on AI. We've ended the war on crypto, and I think we're trying to stop the regulatory capture that benefits large incumbents. So you have all these things, and there's been other things that have been done on the economy as well. But I do think that this sets us up for a Trump boom in the future. It's just that a lot of these changes take time to play out.
This is Trump's man for clearing the space, all the regulatory BS. I mean, obviously they got to work with the new SEC chief, but Paul Atkins is pro Bitcoin, pro crypto, pro RWA even.
Mhm.
So, what we see is Bretton Woods after World War II. It was America establishing monetary dominance across the world. And our fiat that was handling world currency, the world reserve currency, was supposed to be backed in gold. Fast forward to 1970, Nixon gets on stage, 5-minute speech. Hey, we're not doing the gold standard anymore. France is like, fuck you, give me my gold. We're like, fuck you, no. And then they go back, and now we're in this Mexican standoff for the last 50 years where, no one really knows if we have the gold. We're talking about a petro-backed dollar now, but really it's the military might of the United States that's the power behind the dollar. And now we see technological advancements such as Bitcoin, crypto, and AI all coming to the head in the same time frame over the next 10 years. We're probably going to, what we call Bretton Woods, the next one's not going to be Bretton Woods 2.0. It's going to be Mar-a-Lago 1.0.
Oh, Lord.
And that's, it's a big movement. It's a little scary. And there's going to be chaos within that time frame. There's going to be more hyperbolic things said by Trump that are going to crash the market in the short term. I'm going to buy the dips. I'm going to long the dips. And I'm going to sell the rips. And that's just how this world works. And understanding the pairing charts of these altcoins to know when to sell the rips is, I think, one of the most important things that we need to focus on along the next year here, especially if you're in altcoins. Not so much if you're in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of just you buy it, you put it away on an Arculus cold storage device, and you win. It's an easy combination. The creature at Mar-a-Lago. That is a YouTube video title right there. He just gave us the ultimate YouTube video title.
Beautiful.
Did.
I know. That's
Absolutely
so good.
incredible. Well, we're going to make that. The creature at Mar-a-Lago. So we are going to win this technological race to the top, in my opinion. But we need to increase our energy production, which means that we need nuclear power plants built as well as data centers, which brings a lot of opportunity if you're in construction, as I've said time and time again, especially electricians. Electricians, very, very overlooked in this process. Electrician work, going to probably print a lot of money. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent talking about Bitcoin. This is the Treasury Secretary of the United States, the currency general that Trump has taken on.
Why is gold moving around the world in such huge quantities right now?
Well, a couple of things. It's moving. Physically, it's moving because of potential tariffs here. So, it was unclear whether we were going to exempt gold from tariffs, which I believe we have. So there was a big move out of vaults in Switzerland, out of vaults in London to get it into New York. And look, that
into New York.
There are a lot of different stores of value over time. Bitcoin's becoming a store of value. Gold has historically been a store of value. I think what's interesting is, where do we see the gold demand coming from? A huge amount is from China.
Yes.
Where they, as I said, they're in the middle of an economic recession/depression. People don't trust the Chinese currency because they have capital controls. There are 1.4 billion Chinese who all want to get their money out, and they won't let them. They will let them buy gold.
Very, very interesting. And this guy, I've said it once, I'll say it again. He is a savage when it comes to monetary policy. And this guy directly works for George Soros in the 80s and 90s. He sees that there is a little weakness in the Chinese real estate market. And if China keeps fucking around, they're going to find out, because he's going to do the same thing to China on a bigger scale that he did to the United Kingdom on Black Tuesday, where he notices some weakness in the real estate over leveraging, how the currency is really, a lot of the value is locked into a at-risk sector per se, which was specifically the real estate industry of the United Kingdom. He's looking at the exact same situation on the real estate side in China, but on a much, much bigger scale. And the tug of war, the trade war between China and the United States is much, much bigger of a conversation than the UK and the United States in the mid-90s. So if he does end up pulling that trigger, just buckle up. Things will get real ugly. But you know what? I'm fine with it. If it's Bitcoin that we're holding, then in the long term, I know we win anyways. It's just in the short term. This is the chaotic fight that we are in right now. You have to acknowledge that there are major, major potentials for downhill movements for a short amount of time. Now, a Coinbase CEO came out claiming that the U.S. government is on track to hold over $600 billion in Bitcoin reserves. Let's have a listen to this. It is an insane concept. Nearly $1 trillion in reserves.
But I think it's clear at this point that, Bitcoin is a better form of money than gold. It is provably scarce, just like gold, but it's more portable and divisible. So you can actually use it. Has higher utility, I would say. And it was the best performing asset of the last 10 years. And so for store of value, I think it's going to be important for governments to hold this over time. It might start with being 1% of their reserves, but I think over time it'll come to be equal to or greater than gold reserves. Okay, great. Well, let's go to the next question. Let's go to the lady over there.
Equal or greater to our gold reserves, but the gold reserves are currently valued at $42 an ounce.
Yeah.
You know what? We probably have a lot more gold than we think in monetary value, but like maybe they don't want to do the audit of Fort Knox because it's not there.
Probably not.
That's something to think about there. Yeah. Gold has been ripping this morning too. Gold is at, I think, $3,300 a unit. Let's go on over the charts. Let's go to Trading View and check out, because you know what? I'm a fan of gold. I don't hate on gold. It's just I get better upside from Bitcoin and crypto. I still respect my gold loving peeps here, the gold members. Let's go to gold. Let's see. What are we doing with? 33.12 currently right now. These are 15-minute charts. Let's map this out on the hourly. What a beautiful bounce. That is crazy. The pump 2 moment held like a charm on this $3,200 and has been absolutely ripping. Usually it's kind of exciting to see gold have this much volatility. 3.5% since what was the day here? What was the day? May 1st. Okay. So about just 5 days. You get that much volatility. That's pretty damn cool.
That's pretty good.
Still muted there. You're seen on Discover Crypto, but muted there. Oh God.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I wonder what that is. How do we fix that?
I don't know.
How do we fix that?
Oh, looking.
All right. Yeah. See if you can. Just pull up my screen here and you go look into that. Are we still live on my channels? All right. So, and this is something we covered. If VIX is above 60, marked the perfect S&P 500 bottom in the last 35 years. It happened in April this year. The bottom is in March. We march now to $200,000 Bitcoin. And this is, TJ's target, which I don't think is too crazy. I'm just I've been in this market long enough where if I'm clipping altcoins when Bitcoin hits 160, 150, I'm doing fantastic. So here's the chart in general. Now we're looking at the VIX moving up to that 60 level. We have seen this twice in the shorter amount of time, but we also had it here in the kind of 2020 timeframe during that COVID snap crash, and also here during the great financial crisis, the real unwinding of those credit default swaps. So you know what? Like, seeing this amount of volatility, I'm actually very, very thankful for.
Yeah.
Because that max pain truly was up and to the right only. Seeing that we have a little bit of pullback, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I've been able to stack a lot more crypto. And I'm here for it. They are quietly rethinking the dollar to gold July 1st. Look at a physical gold becoming the tier 1 capital again. ETFs will be there 3. Crypto Tony, I mean, I kind of think that it's going to be a basket, but more so they're doing the Bitcoin reserves. They might, we need to get that Fort Knox audit from Department of Government Efficiency. Where the hell did that go?
Who knows, man?
You know what I mean?
There's so much stuff that's still being hidden from us. So
yeah, I mean, cause I was crashing out on Friday because the Treasury lead just like quit the moment that Elon wanted to open the books of the Treasury. So if we actually get a gold reserve audit, something we need, will we get it? Dare they show? Time will tell. Now, bullish Bitcoin price forecast for 2025 range from 122 to 700K. Jeez. Calm down. Okay, 700K. According to major banks, investors, and funds, most estimates fall between 200 to 250, with BlackRock's 700K target assuming a 2 to 5% institutional portfolio allocation to Bitcoin. This is a little, that's great FOMO words, but Jesus, $700,000 Bitcoin for 2025? Really?
Nah, not even close.
Calm down. This year, that's too high. Right. I agree. And you know what? In the Discord, in the live chat room, this is the Bitcoin way, and we were able to hang out and go over all of her specific charts that she wanted to look at.
Yeah.
If you're not in the Discord, get in there. You get like, I'm in there all the time, even if no one's in the room. I leave my workflow open so everyone can see what I'm doing in the mornings. For people that are members of the channel, you can hop in there and ask me specific questions, because on the show I have to move kind of fast and cover a lot of different news. That's the place where I can kind of slow it down, give you a little bit of focus here, and be able to kind of expand on your ideas, your concerns, things of that nature. Now, this is all pairing in. We do have kind of a wild horse coming into the race here with the 21 Capital or 20. This is all the Standard Chartered, HC Wainwright, the 21st Capital, BlackRock, and all of their different targets here. This one's actually, kind of essentially my model, looking for that like baseline 130 on up move. Honestly, I'd be out of the market by the time we hit 280. Besides the Bitcoin holdings, the alts are getting clipped. Alts are getting clipped. And then Van Eck with $180,000 price target with a retrace. So interesting price targets. Chamath Palihapitiya, a little bit hyperbolic. Interesting to see Larry Fink, BlackRock, being the most hyperbolic out of all of these. But they are pushing for that 2 to 5% institutional allocation, which statistically would do that to Bitcoin. It's just, I'm more so thinking 2028 makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Like once you really start to see the reserves stacking in, buying those big clips, that's when I expect to see it happen. And yes, in the short term, we're up against Democrats. This is from Dr. Danish. I've talked to him a lot on Spaces, actually. I should probably follow this guy. I talk to him all the time. Katie Hobbs vetoed the strategic Bitcoin reserve bill in Arizona that passed the House and Senate. She called the Bitcoin an untested investment.
Gay.
Bet you that she doesn't get reelected. She's also vetoing anything and everything in Arizona legislation that does not also include a revamp to their disability payments program. So essentially, all financial choices, whatever the hell it is, police need more gear. Cats can't be eaten in the streets by a Sonola. She's going to veto that because she needs disability, repayments or payments increased. it's really unfortunate to see that Bitcoin is truly still politically polarized. It's going to happen because the Democrats hate Trump. Trump likes Bitcoin. It's an easy combination, an equation to do. And you know what? It's going to take time. The biggest fear I have is that this executive order, the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, is undone, let's say by a Gavin Newsom and AOC presidency in 2028.
Oh, hell no.
And then they clip the Bitcoin that we've accumulated, crash the market. And then, you know what? The legislatively, though, they have to wait. So the executive order, they can only they can only DCA out of the strategic reserve if they decide to do so. And, you know, if Gavin Newsom and AOC are in control of the company, they're going to do everything they want. Anything and everything that they can to give the money back to the trannies and all the people that have been defunded from Doge over the past year. They're going to do everything they can to make up that lost ground.
Department of Education's reinstated.
Yeah. So
IRS is back in business.
IRS hires back another 100,000 people.
Kill myself.
Yeah. So when it comes to that, it's great to see all of these things loading, but we need to keep pushing the envelope to make Bitcoin nonpartisan, right? Your politics shouldn't play into wanting your dollars to stop losing value. I think everyone can agree that we don't want to continually see the dollar devalued. And we want to buy homes in the middle class and lower class that doesn't destroy our financial future, right? I think that's pretty across the board.
Pretty reasonable.
That's what blue hairs complain about all the time.
I know.
Corporate capture and financial cronyism, man. Well, then stop the Fed from printing. End the Fed. Aim your weapons. The Fed. No, did I just say that? Is that
you did just say that? Are we getting
your
banned?
financial weapons?
Probably.
Clarify this. Hold on. Zoom in. Financial weapons. Okay. No, yeah. No. Whoops. You know, but it's the suit. I look fancy.
Yeah, you do
Also,
look fancy.
you know what? If you're in this for the long game, you're playing the IRA game. Do we have the Bitcoin IRA link in our description?
We do not.
We're going to add that at the end of the show.
We will.
Absolutely, because Bitcoin IRA just joined us as a mainstay partner on the channel and Hit Network in general. Huge partnership. Then you know what? I am so proud to represent Bitcoin IRA. Chris over there is an absolute G. They have a lot of different options outside of just Bitcoin, but honestly, if you want to take advantage of the tax haven that is found within Roth IRAs, take advantage of the link, okay? If you're in this for the long game, you're not just psycho handing a meme coin overnight to try to make it from $5 to $100,000 and then clip it on all your friends and jeet it and go, what is that?
My bad. I'm trying to get this link.
Looking to jeet. You know, you're here for the long term. Roth IRAs, very, very based place to be looking at housing your crypto. Okay. So that being said, we're going to have the link in the description. It's going to be huge. Maybe the best link you've ever seen. And also we're going to have the assets. I think Aaron's supposed to have the assets on here. I asked him. He said it was yes. We need them. So we need these links. We need the assets.
Discover Crypto doesn't have their link yet, so I do not have it yet.
After the show, we're getting them on both.
Cool beans.
Get them on both. All right. Nationalists dominate first round in Romanian presidential election. Bullish.
Hell yeah.
Boom. We are winning. You know what I mean? We are winning. I was crashing out even more about Scientology over the weekend, Isaac.
Oh, I was there. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I don't listen to advice from Scientologists or people that can't pronounce the word aluminum correctly. Aluminium is what they say in England, and that just doesn't sit right with me.
Fair.
Doesn't sit right.
I wonder how Leo says it in the UK.
We should get him to say it.
When he's back in the States here, we should get him to say it.
Yeah. Arizona state retirement system is garbage. Mike's part of it. They pay crap. Buy a home, impossible, no way. Man, that's got to be the goal. Land in Bitcoin. And you know what? You can't get actively taxed on just holding Bitcoin. You are actively taxed on holding a home. Unless there's some loopholes I heard where if I die,
yeah,
my wife buries me on the land,
comes a cemetery.
That's a price I'm willing to pay.
But it has to be 2 bodies.
Yeah. Well, it has to be 2 bodies?
It does have to be 2 bodies.
Oh, you're going with me.
I am going with you.
All right. Dubai-based family office has announced plans to invest $8 billion to build a blockchain and digital assets financial hub in Maldives, according to the Financial Times. Dubai is bullish on their, on their Bitcoin, on their crypto advancements. Here in America, we see it happening. We see you, boo. We're going to catch up to you. It's no problem. Oh my God, Isaac, you pulled up the next tab.
Oh, yeah. Do it. No balls.
Okay.
And Vicious says racial slurs might get your YouTube channel hacked, guys.
So,
don't tempt me.
Culturally,
yep,
white people are statistically heavily in the minority across the world.
Correct.
To see people pissed off that lady crowdfunded like $500K, $1 million. She's getting like death threats. She got in a fight with some kid. I don't even know what the kid. I have a personal story. So I was at the park and, my daughter, everyone's the same, she doesn't really see skin color. I'm in Atlanta. This little daughter of this other lady was like blocking my daughter from doing anything because she didn't like the color of her skin. I didn't crash out on the kid, nor did I crash out on the mom. I'm just like, because the mom was like, this does not get taught at home. And I believed her. I don't think that this mom taught her this at home. But on a cultural sense, this daughter of hers was learning from all the different aspects of the world, right? And so when there is an immense amount of pride and openness to be proud of who you are on one side of the fence, and then the other side of the fence, you're essentially called a racist if you're proud of that side. That's where this massive disconnect. Be happy and proud of who you are. Be proud if you're white. Be proud if you're black. Be proud if you're Mexican. And be proud if you're in between, like Isaac. Sanchez last name, but he's yet the Quince Ocha.
That's not my last name.
No, it's White Devil.
I know.
Okay. This is just a cultural fight that it doesn't really have, it's more of a cultural psyop. And the loss of being proud of who you are, I think, is a very, very low vibrational level to live life on. So, that's where we are in society. Culturally, it's okay to be proud of who you are. Flatline across the board, right? Is that too much to say, Isaac?
No, not at all. I think it's perfect right in there in the middle.
Be proud if you're a Scientologist. That's where I draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
That's where you can draw the line.
That's where I draw the motherfucking line.
You are banned!
Oh, man. Now, and a quick reminder, just on the government legislative level, people shouldn't fear the government. The government should feel you, the people. Lop doesn't hold back in conversation, diving deep into liberty, tax slavery, and how Bitcoin gives a people a way out. This weekend, perfect time to watch a full episode. Let's have a look. Jameson Lop is absolutely great. I love this guy. One of the parts of the Bitcoin core that just must be listened
People
to.
should not fear their government. The government should fear their people, and this is all about balance. Citizens are essentially tax cattle on the tax farm for governments. We are like the economic powerhouse that the parasitic government leeches off of. And I think it's going to continue that way as long as the people don't put up much of a fight. The America that we have today is probably unrecognizable to the founding fathers. The people who are 20 years old now, who were born like after September 11th, they don't even know what the before times were like. They don't know the levels of freedom that we had that were taken away and never given back. And I think that type of situation just is going to continue playing out over the generations. And it has played out over the generations. For example, you look at income tax, right? Like there was no income tax for the first couple hundred years, I think. And some would argue that it's unconstitutional, but we've had it for so long now that very few people even think to dispute.
This is the thing, man. This is where we roll back the mindset to the 1776 America, and it can be done. Do you really want to live forever under tyranny, right?
No.
And then when you be quiet, when you see tyranny come, that's when it wins. Okay, it would have won in March of 2020 had people like me not psycho-handed our hard-iron goods, outwardly said, "Hell no, I'm not showing you paperwork." In fact, get out of my way and assembled and actually found crypto, the tech of it, through encrypted communication. Encrypted crypto, get it right? Encryption, cryptocurrency are just coins going to and from one encrypted network. Okay, so it's just part of encryption. But the right to self-sovereignty of our money and our communication is a absolute God-given right. And we need a digital Bill of Rights instead of this hybridized system. We don't really have a digital Bill of Rights. Companies are able to aggregate our information, steal it, and monetize it. And also, this is something else that's going on that dawned on me as I was talking to an AI scientist this weekend, is that there are people out there on the spaces that I do, listening to the technical analysis, trying to figure out how to build their trading bots to understand a market which traditional trading bots really are getting their asses kicked in. So AI is aggregating the understanding of crypto bros to try to increase the yield for these products that they're making for traditional finance. This is where things get iffy for me, because obviously I'm on the show and I care about you guys. That's why I'm giving you all my thoughts and outlook of the crypto market. But then the more information I say, the better these AI trading algorithmic robots become. And that's where the weirdness becomes for me. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm just cognizant that they are learning from crypto bros. You're going to get to a point where I think there's always going to be a chaos factor to altcoins.
Always.
There's always going to be that chaos factor. Imagine AI agent Druth out there just taking MasterCards. And
We made one.
we made one. Oh God, we do have one, don't we?
We do. He's a bitch. He's not as base though.
That's true.
He's a cunt.
And he looks squishy. He looks very squishy.
Yeah.
Speaking of squishy, I am 255 pounds. Yeah, but I'm still a size 36. So there is that. Most of it. Oh, are we getting rugged?
Oh, you might get rugged here. No, we're good. We might get rugged here in a second. If we do get rugged, we'll be back in like 30, 40 seconds. I got it. I'm locked.
Well, you know what? We get rugged right as I'm talking about the nitty-gritty of stuff, right?
I know.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney planning to visit the United States for tariff negotiations with Trump. This is some bullish catalyst that we could see moved.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, holy shit.
What?
Oh, you're back.
I'm back now?
Oh, you're back now.
Dude, we Ben swatted. I wonder if I'm back. Give me a one in the chat. Oh yeah, we're back. Okay. These are the CME gaps. So right now, I don't know if this is showing here. Give me a +1 in chat if this is showing for you here.
It is. It's showing.
All right, cool. So we have a CME gap at 92 to 92.5. But over the weekend, we did create another one above us here at 96.4 to 97.2. Quite a big one, actually, in comparison to the other CME gap. Again, these CME gaps have not missed since the beginning of 2023. Since our marriage with Wall Street, imagine that the market makers have literally brought price action back to fill their orders every single time since 2023. So we do have this current situation. If I'm sitting here looking at it, which I am a betting man, nice negative day. On the daily, we have a red dot. Pull up the money flow. The money flow is actually clipping to the upside while we're dealing with this red dot. So the money flow looks like it wants to come back into the green. We
And we're back.
God, what is going on with this? They must really hate what I just said.
I think so, because it only happens when you like say something really base or something they don't like, and then as soon as you start talking about it, we get rugged.
That is insane. So yeah, on the trading plan, I am showing a green dot on the 15-minute. Nice volatility to the downside, negative 60. Oh shit. I might have to do this like right now. Look at this. Double bottom action. Just on the day. The Jeets. Let's go to CoinGlass. We might be putting in a live trade here. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something right. Let's go in.
Not yet.
Let's see here. That'd be funny if it rugs as I'm like clipping in just another massive long that prints another 700%. Let's see here. God, it wiped the liquidity out to the downside too.
It did.
Jeez. Upsides. Oh, this is kind of looking. It's kind of looking juicy. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, doesn't it feel so good? Oh,
So, I mean, clear skies ahead. I mean, there is this package down here. Like all this liquidity to the downside essentially ends at 91.9. Talking to Frankie this weekend. He's watching like 91.7, I think it was.
91.5.
91.5. Kelly's watching 91.8. TJ, I think, was like 91.8-ish. I'm watching 92. You know what? Like, I feel in the short term, we're probably going to feel this or feel this, but I also, I mean, that we might get some really bullish news out of that Trump trade negotiation with Canada this week and China. Don't forget about China. So, and then the Fed meeting in a few days, I could see like a Darth Maul move on the chart because Jerome Powell is going to hold interest rates where they are. It'll be really based on the language that he comes out with and saying, are we looking at a bullish or bearish economy? So the minutes are going to be pretty heavy. And also the color of his tie is going to play into this as well. Need to start a hardcore band, instant success. Dude. Oh my God. I was punching the bag with Matt. Matt's here in the office. I'm surprised he's not down here. He might be eating Biscuit Belly right now.
Probably.
I really, really feel like there has been a lot of work from market manipulators to keep the prices down. And, a lot of people sold their bags at 75, 80. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry you fell for the PSYOP. TJ said 92. You said 91. Isn't it not? I felt like I was watching 92 for quite some time. Maybe it's inverse. Maybe TJ is watching 91. But you know what? I'm going to redo the trades. I'm just being patient. I've learned to not overtrade. I've learned to leave Mondays alone. And I've literally, like the last 4 or 5 trades have all been at least 100% gains.
That's true.
So, take it or leave it. Except for one that I got stopped out for and I made 10% gain on it. What a scam that was.
All right. It literally hit your stop loss and right up like usually does.
It is what it is, though. You know what? I'm not sitting here complaining about it because I set the trades off the 15-minute. I'm trading off the general thesis of the weekly green dot. If they get scam wicked out, I just look for the new entry point. That's all you got to do. Don't sit there beating yourself up. about spilt beans, right? You're gonna spill beans. If you're not making mistakes, you're not moving forward. It is what it is. Freedom Guy can sing. We need to start a band, Isaac.
We've been saying that since last February, dog.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're ready on the guitar side. I want you to be ready. We got to get you a bigger amp.
I'm close. Bigger amp. I'm pretty badass on vocals though.
You do have good vocals. Crypto Cody calls drums. Man, we need to get the band back together here. Now, just on altcoin news here, Van Eck filed for another ETF, this time for BNB. A BNB ETF as well now in the mix from Van Eck. Solana validators had to patch a 0-day vulnerability that could have enabled unlimited token minting on Solana. Kind of went under the radar, underreported. They got it fixed. Nothing crazy happened. A lot of people a little freaked out by that potential there. And on this, USDC loans on Coinbase powered by Morpho Labs. January is nothing. February, 2 million. March, 14. April, 45. And now May, 120 million in loans made through Morpho. Morpho is giving me early Aave vibes. And so when I look at, we did get asked by Right Now on Twitter to do a prediction on where I think Morpho could end up when the hype cycle returns.
$5.
You thinking $5? Let's dig in.
$5.
Let's go to Coin Market Cap, and we're going to start from the beginning because this is a little gem. It's just a gem that not enough people talk about, and it's my job to talk about something that's actually got solid value here. So,
I'd actually go higher than $5. I'm tweaking.
What's that?
I can go higher than $5 actually. I wasn't aware of where the price was now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Morpho at $1.32. It's not going to have an unlock for another 200 days. No major unlocks for another 200 days.
Not bad.
Max supply is at $1 billion. It's a new product. This is the landing point for Coinbase users to seamlessly take loans off of their Bitcoin for USDC while still holding the Bitcoin, right? Much better control mechanisms than Celsius had for avoiding the margin calls on those loans people are going to take because they learned their lesson. And really, when I see Morpho, it's currently at number 140 in terms of size of market cap. When I see the expansion of Base, which is undeniable, let's go to Artemis. Artemis Crypto. This is a great website to use to understand where the migratory birds of crypto are flocking to. We go to the aggregate on the 3-month flows right here. Or let's see here. I'll go to total flows. I got to pull this up a little bit. Let's see here. Here we go. So the 3-month flows, Sonic and Base are in aggregate the winners. Then you got Arbitrum and Unit Chain. Base, though, has captured Ethereum. Coinbase admits they have captured Ethereum they troll Ethereum all the time on their Twitter.
Great.
They've captured Ethereum. So David Middleton just closed the F in shorts. Yeah, it's a battle. When I look at Base's expansion, the capturing of Ethereum for the smart contract utility, and the literal supercomputer that Ethereum still is, I look at opportunity such as things on Base like Morpho. Now, when I'm looking at this, I'm comparing it to Aave. And let's pull this up here. That's the wrong one. I know. I'm going to pull up the right one. Aave. Bam. Early Aave vibes. And when I look at Aave's past performance, we peaked out at around a $5 billion market cap. Right around here. I'm going to look at that. 5.8 billion. I'm looking for about $5 to $10 billion market cap accomplishment from Morpho this cycle. At the peak, the froth, when Bitcoin crosses that crescendo about 130 to 150, people are going to start protecting their Bitcoin by taking loans out in stable coins to start effing with the next best altcoin that they've been researching along the ride up into the right for Bitcoin. Now, why I'm not looking for some gigacycle on Morpho up to like the 20 billion is because I'm just trying to keep it within reason. So I'm targeting the early Aave movement. Aave, I think, is going to actually do around 20. I think Aave is going to be looking at about a $20 billion market cap, which is insane from where it's currently at, about just under 3 billion right now. So with that, we head on over to Coin Perspective. Coin perspective. Bam, bam. Just to show you what this project is capable of. Because it's new, because it's not sick from token inflation, and because it's extremely undiscovered. Not a lot of people realize it's available directly on Coinbase. It's the direct swap out spot for loans on Coinbase. And that loan froth is going to go absolutely ballistic once Bitcoin breaches that 130 mark. We have our current circulating supply. And really, if I'm looking out for a $5 billion move, which I think is pretty conservative, we're looking at an $18 Morpho token or a 13x from where you're currently at.
Mhm.
Even if it underperformed and hit around the $3 billion market cap, basically what Aave is at currently, that's still an $11.30 Morpho token. If it overperforms and we get to the $10 billion mark, which is absolutely capable of doing, it's just we need extra froth to come to the market, which we have 4 rate cuts over the course of the rest of this year. So when you pair what's coming to the markets and the risk appetite to where the beat down mindset is of where we currently are, these things are absolutely within our grasp. A $10 billion market cap on this token brings it to just under $40 a unit, or a 28x from where it currently sits. So I think there's a lot of potential for this. There's a reason why it's my 3rd biggest altcoin in my bag, and I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? I think it's very, and I've really consolidated down how much exposure to like all these random altcoins really is.
Yeah.
Brought it down, you know, like the big chunks of my bag are in blue chips. And then Morpho is probably one of the furthest down outside of like Constellation DAG. But there takes a lot of confluence, a lot of game theory, and a lot of reason to get myself exposure to these alts, because it's Bitcoin show. I got to see hardcore utility within that. Just me personally. So, and then as we go through this year, you guys, I understand if a bunch of people understand this, like the types that are like Crypto Stevo, they understand what I'm about to say. But here's what we got to do. I'll show you how I handled AVAX, and then you can understand how to handle any altcoin that you hold, right? So we go to AVAX BTC on TradingView. You don't need an account, or like you don't really need anything on TradingView to get this chart. So you go to AVAX BTC in a little search bar there, and then you'll get the buying power of Avalanche compared to Bitcoin. And I know this is boring, dry, but I don't want a bunch of people complaining to me a year from now because they didn't take profits on their altcoins back into Bitcoin or real estate. Okay. This is why I'm doing this, is to avoid your future pain. You're welcome. This is dry information. So $10 Avalanche, but even the dominance is higher than where it currently sits. We're at about a $20 Avalanche right now. But the clip moment where I knew that it was about to get juicy was the green dot on the weekly for Bitcoin. So thus, I hammered into Avalanche, Chainlink, and ICP. I even bought a little Bitcoin at the time. But when I saw the dominance to AVAX start to jackknife to the upside, I've had this trend line on Avalanche for quite some time, since last cycle. Basically on these resistance support levels that it initially had before they're falling into the bear market. And so I left this line here, and by God, it came up literally to the exact peak of this line. I clipped this right here at $52 Avalanche. I didn't reach the top of $57, $58 Avalanche, but once I saw these gargantuan green weekly candles on AVAX to Bitcoin, I already had the trend line built, because all of these altcoin roads lead to Bitcoin. Literally every single one of these. So when I saw this, it was further confirmation to feel comfortable to, take the profits, build the sewing shop, get the little vehicle or whatever it was that I had in mind, and things have turned out well. Now, where AVAX currently is sitting, if we see Bitcoin dominance continue up to 70%, let's say, this could absolutely fall back down to these extreme lows. Where it sits right now, it actually kind of looks like it wants to hold. And so from where we're at right now till like the end of the year, I can see Avalanche running about 200 to 215% against Bitcoin at a time. And when that time comes, I'm going to be clipping my altcoins, rolling them back into Bitcoin, real estate, and guns. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not sorry about it. And I really, really emphasize this for anyone that's in any altcoin to keep an eye on the altcoin to Bitcoin pairing over the course of the next year. Once a week, go look at it. See if there's a giant green candle on there, and then you'll know. It might be getting time to sell because you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, especially when you are in altcoins, because this is the chaos realm where Satoshis can be made in a very fast time frame, as you see with the avalanche movement. But they also, on the avalanche movement, you can see, are lost very, very quickly. So the sun will shine on these things as long as it's a good project that's got a built-in core development, a good landing spot, a good community, and a lot of TVL. But just keep this in mind, guys. When you do see these massive green candles on the, let's AVAX to Bitcoin, XRP to Bitcoin, whatever altcoin it is, protect yourself. Okay. Pay yourself. It's okay. With that being said, stay based, guys. I know that things are about to get really, really crazy here in the crypto sector, and I'm here for the chaos. I love it. Some people can't stomach it. If you can't stomach it, the easiest thing to do, Bitcoin. Cold storage device, use the link in our description for code BASE10. Get 10% off your own cold storage device for Arculus. Let's run the ad. We got the ad? Let's run the ad. Let's let people know where to get this thing. This is important.
The Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
And if you're receiving a NFT airdrop, sell it day one. Okay? Unpopular advice. Look, this is FFV highlighting this.
Pull it up, sir.
Oh, yeah. FFV highlighted this on Twitter. Pudgy Penguins? Wrong. Ape Coin? Wrong. Anime Coin? Very wrong. Meme Coin? Wrongest. And Dust Protocol, one of the most wrong of all of them. So when you are receiving these airdrops from NFTs, just know you will be cheated on. Do you want to be cheated on or be the cheater? That is up to you. I only hold one NFT, and it is the Trump NFT. I might be able to cheat that thing.
Maybe
I might be able to. I haven't gone in and looked at it in a while. I probably should. But just keep that in mind. Now, for the week ahead from DeFi Investor, Ethereum's Pectra upgrade will go live on May 7th. Sonic Summit will start on May 6th. Polkadot's going to release this Polkadot app, a specific app for their chain, enabling staking, shopping, and saving. Kind of an interesting move, Polkadot. Hyperliquid's new fee system and staking tiers go live May 5th. Today, Hype stakers will get trading fee discounts, and the next Fed interest rate meeting on May 8th. These are all important days. Barachain Boyco funds are set to unlock on May 6th. And then this is also highlighted. This is where we could see, because on Artemis, Barachain has looked great, right? It's up here in some of the top gains over the last 3 months. But when we look at the comparison of people, they oftentimes will see the migratory flow from one chain to the next to get that unleash, that airdrop. And this could lead to a major drop in TVL for Bara. Coinbase earnings call is scheduled for May 8th as well. And voting for Conflux's CFX token burn proposal will end today. So this is stuff we're watching out for on all of the different altcoins and Bitcoin charts this week. Let's see. Guess not. What is Link, Ondo, Eros? Good still? Yeah. I mean, Chainlink is my main altcoin holding. Ondo is my second biggest holding. Aerodrome is my fourth biggest holding. It has been overtaken by Morpho. I absolutely went ballistic on Morpho at about 87 cents. Not sorry. As you can see, it's already at $1.33. It's going great. Where is the TVL on these things? Let's go. DeFi Llama. We got to go in. It always starts with ICP too, just to make sure that there's pain to be felt. Why does it do this? It pre-populates the ICP every single time.
wants to remind you how trash it is,
God,
and how dead and not useless, but no one uses it.
You know, it had a day though.
It had a day.
Like $3.16, but I used that ICP to Bitcoin graph. Same thing. Now it's like sitting here playing around like $3 or $4 here. This isn't even loading up. What is this?
The day has passed, fuckers.
What is house?
The day has passed.
The day has
For
passed.
ICP. Move on.
Oh man. Maybe. Huh? Maybe. Did you see the tornadoes in Georgia?
I did.
Look at this thing. That's insane. I figure if I've already been hit by a tornado once this year, I'm probably good for another year, right?
Yeah, or next two.
Two in 1 year? That's a little bit too much. Let's see here. IRS directors are stepping down after the acceptance of their resignation offer from Doge. That's great. We already covered Berkshire Hathaway. I don't know if this DeFi llama thing is going to pull up for me. Look at this. It's just blocked.
You can
Just blocked.
stake on Arculus.
You can stake on Arculus. Yeah, but you're going to stake Cardano?
Yep.
Right? I got to ask BJ. I think BJ is still running the Nest pool. And I wonder if the Nest pool is available direct on Arculus, because I didn't see it. When I was scrolling through all the staking on Arculus with my Cardano, I didn't see Nest pool come up. So
Fun.
Cali Crypto dude asking me, God, I mean, swapping out of ETH at these extreme lows, man, that's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Like ETH, I could see ETH running against Bitcoin to a degree. Let's go look at ETH. BTC. Let's see here. So it's pain as the other pairing charts show, and they all have the same design. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Is it not showing on this?
Oh, did you change tabs?
No. Oh well, yeah. I'm on the trading view.
You
Yeah, and
switched
I
it?
did. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Bam. Still no.
Nothing.
Try actually switching the tab.
I did.
The
There's
button at
so
the top.
much. I got to go back into the StreamYard thing here. Let's go to
Yay.
present.
Don't we love being rugged, everybody?
This is important info, dude. Share screen. Let's see here. ETH to Bitcoin. This better work. Is it working? Okay. So it's got the same structure as all the other pairings. Now, there is a lot of historical volume essentially at the spot it is exactly at right now. This volume was created heavily in 2016. Also with a W pattern in the early 2020 stage here. Where we are, Kevin Spencer, remember that crazy tweet he put out? This is where ETH pain stops, right?
Right.
Over the last few weeks, it actually is green. I'm not expecting ETH to break above and beyond this trend line, though. So if I'm holding ETH, eventually, I think this actually might be its turning point. And we're not too far away from June and those rate cuts. So we could squeeze against Bitcoin. We could basically looking at like 100% run against Bitcoin at a time. The longer it takes to see this tick over, the more diminished the upside against Bitcoin becomes. If we have to wait until December, it's looking like it's only going to run about 75%. If it runs over the next few months, then you can be looking at 100% gain against Bitcoin. Me personally, because I have to put this in personal preference because I'm not a financial advisor, is that if I'm already in ETH and it's at 1.5 and I'm thinking about swapping, Morpho's been up, man.
Yeah.
Morpho, like the buying point was at 87 cents. Now it's at like $1.30. Dude, I'd probably hold it against Bitcoin. And I think it'll have its moment to a degree. It's going to be a diminished moment. That being said, I would just be out there mining more fiat for value-added altcoins.
Yeah.
Or Bitcoin. It's honestly, like, I rarely feel like buying Bitcoin these levels, and how sure I am that Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin still feels fine. Bitcoin still feels fine. When would I convert my profits into Bitcoin? Exactly when I should. And when I see these altcoin pairings running up against Bitcoin, this is like the last one ETH had was last cycle. This is the December 2020 timeframe. Then you had March of 21st. But when I saw these giant green weekly candles on ETH to Bitcoin, I still had the trend line, and we clipped it at about $4,500 a unit. And I haven't looked back since. Celsius had some ETH of mine left over, and I did get a portion of that. I transferred it all into base. I just shotgunned Aerodrome, Morpho, Moonwell on base. It's been a good choice. Less downside. But to Craig D, to answer your question, I use the pairing charts for those. This year, I think we're gonna have an all right time for altcoins, an amazing time for Bitcoin, but there will become a time where you have to know when to fold them. And using those pairing charts is extremely important to understand. So with that information, hope you all get TradingView on your phone, understand the pairing charts, look at it once a week, and hopefully we don't get any crazy trade war news, and we can fill these CME gaps in a reasonable manner, and I can clip another 30x long in on the markets. Until next time, here's that.